We all know that a true competitor to Xbox Game Pass will be coming out from PlayStation in due time, and Phil Spencer has now weighed in on this possibility. Welcome back to another video, guys. If you enjoy daily content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So back at the beginning of December, we got a report that a new subscription service was coming from PlayStation named Project Spartacus, and it was planned to launch in spring of 2022. And this was going to be just a Game Pass competitor that was going to have 3 tiers for subscribers within the PlayStation Network. And it was going to be within the first tier, you get the current selection, the current access to the PS Plus benefits, which are those free monthly games. The next tier up, you would get a selection of PS4 and PlayStation 5 games, as well as extended demos. And the tier above that would be a library of PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games. And I guess I'm assuming all of the other stuff within the other tiers. Now, the biggest thing that was not there within this report was, are they going to be releasing their first party games into this service on day one like Xbox does with Xbox Game Pass? So we still don't know that yet, but none of this stuff has been presented by Sony yet. These are all just reports. I believe it was first reported by Bloomberg. So you could say technically it still isn't confirmed yet. It's still kind of a rumor that they are going to be doing this. But at the end of the day, it is absolutely inevitable that PlayStation is going to release something within the next year or so to compete with Xbox Game Pass, because PlayStation Now specifically is nowhere near to being able to compete right now with Xbox Game Pass. So kind of getting rid of just the specific PlayStation Now and merging it into a bigger platform, into a bigger subscription service where you're going to get more perks, potentially, hopefully, I'm hoping at least, PlayStation games, first party ones on day one on the service. I think that would be a huge move by PlayStation. Now, Phil Spencer has reacted to these rumors of a PlayStation Game Pass competitor, and he pretty much thinks that it is the right answer. So it makes sense that this would be happening. And Phil Spencer goes on commenting on this, saying, as you know, so many of these things actually intertwine with themselves, from backwards compatibility in terms of a way of building out a library of games that we have shipping on PC and console simultaneously. Knowing that Game Pass is going to come and we want to bring Game Pass to multiple platforms, all of these decisions kind of stack on top of themselves. I don't mean it to sound like we've got it all figured out, but I think the right answer is allowing your customers to play the games they want to play, where they want to play them, and giving them choice about how they build their library, and being transparent with them about what our plans are in terms of our PC initiatives and our cross-gen initiatives and other things. So when I hear others doing things like Game Pass are coming to PC, it makes sense to me because I think that's the right answer. So that's a lot to take in there, but Phil Spencer is completely right, 100% right on what he says, in the sense that what Xbox is doing is inevitable, that you're going to see across the entire industry. It is the right thing to do for the consumer, as it's the best way to play games right now on Xbox Game Pass, because you get access to so many incredible games and you're not restricted to a box. You can play these games anywhere. And I mean, Xbox has kind of been looking ahead into the future, realizing that this is the road that we're going down. And it all really started back in like 2016, 2017, when they announced like the Play Anywhere initiative. And then they officially had launched Xbox Game Pass in 2017, while at the same time still giving you the Xbox One X, which kind of showed you that they knew people were still going to want to play with that powerful hardware. But at the same time, if you just wanted to experience the games, you didn't really care about 4K and stuff like that, you could still get that access and play Game Pass on different devices. And the exclusivity thing, my thinking on it has completely changed. I mean, I used to really look at the exclusives on each platform, and that determined to me like which platform was the better platform, I guess you could say. But my thoughts on exclusivity have completely taken a 180. I think that exclusivity, like locking a single game to a single console or to a single platform, such as what PlayStation does with their first party games, is the worst possible thing for the consumer. It makes absolutely no sense. It's only a marketing avenue. That's the only reason why. And you see how well it works, because you see how the rabid fanboys fall for exclusivity, where they think that because their console has a game that nobody else can play, they are better than them. Therefore, they tell people that that is the best platform or the best console out there. I mean, that's the best word of mouth marketing that you can get as a company when you push that out onto your consumers. But it doesn't help the consumer, because the best form of exclusivity we have right now, as you can see, is with Xbox, as you're allowed to play games on multiple different devices and multiple different platforms. Now, don't get me wrong, I fully understand that you need some form of exclusivity in the video game market, in the market that we are currently in order to continue to grow, in order to have these companies compete against each other so that we get better products at the end of the day. But you can see Xbox has proven that you don't need that exclusivity locked to a box. You need the exclusivity locked to an ecosystem. As long as you have the content, who cares where these people are playing? As long as they are within your ecosystem and they're subscribed, you're still gonna be making continuous money off of them. But you're giving them that freedom of choice that, hey, if they want to play it on a cell phone, then that's okay. They don't have to go out and spend the $500 on the Xbox Series X. So Phil Spencer continues on here saying, I don't really look at it as validation. I actually, when I'm talking to our teams, talk about it as an inevitability. So far for us, we continue to innovate, continue to compete, because the things that we're doing might be advantages that we have in the market today, but they're just based on us going first, not that we've created something that no one else can go create. I like it because it feeds our energy on what are the next things that we should be working on as we continue to build out the things that we've done in the past, because I think the right answer is to ship great games, ship them to PC, ship them on console, ship them on cloud, make them available day one in the subscription, and I expect that's what our competitor will do. So that's pretty big there, in the sense that he expects PlayStation to put their games into their service on day one. And he says that because of how the industry is going, how the industry has seen and recognized Xbox Game Pass, what they're doing, and how successful it has been. And if you want to compete, you're going to have to pretty much just replicate their business model with your own platform, so that you can at least have the same amount of value to what's already out there. It makes complete sense. It's inevitable. PlayStation is going to be releasing a big Game Pass subscriber at some point, and that's something, if you are on Xbox Game Pass, definitely keep your eye out for. And it's a good thing at the end of the day for the consumer if they release something that's on par to Xbox Game Pass. Now, will this dethrone Xbox Game Pass? I don't think so. I don't think that they have a chance, really, at least in the near future, to dethrone Xbox Game Pass, in the sense that, like Phil Spencer says, what Xbox is doing is not like a brand new idea. It's an idea where was coming inevitably at some point in the future. Xbox recognized that first, and they were out first. They have completely capitalized on being the first big gaming subscription model and having the best content within any subscription model. And they will continue to be the best subscription model with the best content going forward, I think, for a very long time, because of the trust they've already created with the developers and publishers, as well as just already the content that they have in there. You look at something like what we have with the TV and movie streaming services, and Netflix was the first one out there, and we can see here they're still way on top. And I would say Netflix probably has the best content. Now, I'm no expert on this. I don't watch that much TV or movies because I have free time. I play video games. But from what I've seen, I would go with Netflix as my number one choice. And they were out there first with this model, and everyone followed, and they're still on top and still doing amazing. And in general, I mean, this is nothing really new. It's like what we have been seeing within the video game industry since the launch of the OG Xbox. The OG Xbox and Microsoft have always innovated within the video game industry, and everybody else is always following them when it comes to these innovations. Now, that doesn't mean that because Xbox is always first out there and always first innovating, they were always the best seller, made the most money, all that type of stuff. That's all irrelevant to what we've seen since like the OG Xbox, in the sense you had like Xbox Live come out, it had a hard drive within the console, and then you started seeing the other consoles kind of replicating that, especially like the online stuff. The Xbox 360, you had like the achievements, the party chats, and just straight to the friends list and all the online community features that everybody else really just copied after that, or specifically PlayStation, or at least took that as their base foundation of what they were going to give with their own platform. And now we're seeing this again with the gaming subscription service, where Xbox was first in and everyone else is going to be following in those footsteps with these subscribers, because the fact of the matter is the exclusive framework of PlayStation, what they have right now, is slowly dying, in the sense that they are not going to be able to make as much money as they want to as we go through the years within the industry, and you see the Xboxes and maybe the Nintendos in the future, maybe another competitor coming out with these big subscription services where you don't have to lock your content to a box. You don't have to rely on somebody having a PlayStation or an Xbox or Switch in their living room to make money off of them. All they need is an internet connection, and they're instantly within your ecosystem. You're instantly already making money off of them as consumers, but at the same time, because of this business model, from what we've seen with Xbox Game Pass, you get to deliver them more and more value. And I mean, PlayStation sees this. They're looking forward, and they're going to follow in those footsteps. I have absolutely no doubt about that. And we were hearing about it with Project Spartacus. We're seeing it with them releasing more games on PC. Maybe we'll see them release day one games on PC as well. And hopefully with Project Spartacus, they go along those lines of giving the consumers the best value, like Xbox Game Pass does, and releases their first party games into their service. But that's it for me, guys. Let me know what you think about Phil's comments in my comments below. And what do you think PlayStation is going to do with their subscription service when it's eventually announced and all that type of stuff? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you enjoy my content, you find it entertaining, you find it informative, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button, help this channel grow, and just help grow this community and join the community and just talk about video games, because that's what this channel is really all about. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.